Not the homophobia and the racism.
Not the homophobia and racism in one comment. Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. My name is Jackie, this is Las Gordas, and I'm here with my sister,
Giselle.
and we are here today to have a discussion about things that have been going on in our lives, as well as eat some pats to you that I made. Giselle is already scarfing down over there, but let me give you like a close-up view. Like, it's my first time making it and I'm super proud. I got some hot sauce over here. A lot has been happening since I last posted a YouTube video. The big thing that has happened is that I moved. I got a new job, so I had to move into a new city. And I moved in with my best friend. Giselle is no longer living with me, but she still comes and visits me all the time. So that's why we hadn't really been doing YouTube videos, because I was still getting settled into my new apartment. Giselle was getting settled into her new job, as well as I. And like the time just slipped away. Another big thing that has happened is that I finally hit 100,000 followers on TikTok. So I've been getting a lot of attention on TikTok, which is a really good thing, and it also has turned into a not so good thing. And so that's what we're going to be talking about today. So recently I've been talking a lot about anti-blackness and racism within my community, which is the Latinx community, specifically the Mexican American community. And I posted a few videos talking about that on TikTok. Now, I always post about pretty controversial things. Like, I'm not afraid to talk about things like that. I knew that I was going to get some backlash when I posted those videos, but I never expected the amount of backlash that I got. It was, to this day, probably the most hate I've received since I started TikTok back in January. In this video, I really want to call out and unpack all of the hate and the racism that has been left in my comments. So this is going to be a pretty heavy video, so if you're not in a good mindset, maybe this is not the right video for you to be watching right now. But if you are, let me spill some tea. But before I spill some tea, let me eat. While I'm munching on this, Giselle, can you talk a little bit about what you've been observing on TikTok and what's been going on right now? Because it feels really divided. It feels like it's Latinx people against Black people right now on TikTok. Like, the racial tensions are really high. Like,
I would say that this week I have seen a lot more content about, you know, Black folks against Latinx or Latinx against Black folks. I've been seeing a lot of videos of like Black people talking about the hate that they've been receiving randomly just because they're Black, because Latinx people have been saying like, oh, stop hurting our street vendors. You know, they're just generalizing them in their comments for no reason when they could be posting just a random happy video. So I've been seeing a lot of that. And then I also saw that video that you responded to, the Black woman. I don't know what her name was.
I don't know her name.
The one that you screen recorded. I saw her video before you responded to it. And all I have to say is, every single time that a Black person asks a simple question or talks about the hate that they've been receiving from Latinx people, or honestly Chicanos specifically, they get so much backlash in their comments. It's just insane. And then also,
and what do you mean by backlash? Like, is it just people going against them, or are people like leaving?
They literally start being racist and they start kind of like clowning on them. How do I explain it? Like, they're taunting them in the comments, you know, saying some racist stuff, or like saying like, see, this is why Breonna Taylor, this is why, stuff like that. Like,
I haven't seen comments like that.
I've seen nasty comments like that, being extremely racist. And then it, specifically in that woman's comments, they were bringing up like George Floyd and how it was all a hoax, and it's just stuff like that. That's just the stuff I've been seeing.
Wow.
So I feel like TikTok has become a place where like people who have internalized racism feel free to let it all out. I think especially because the elections are coming up, it's starting to divide people a lot.
I think people are looking for reasons to divide themselves. I honestly, I didn't know all of that. So normally, like, I post my content and I'm still like on my For You page all the time, just like looking at stuff. Because this past 2 weeks I've been talking about anti-Blackness, I haven't even had time to just be on TikTok and look at other videos, because I have to keep responding and blocking people who are leaving racist comments. It's been really intense. So I really hadn't seen that. And that makes sense because that user you're talking about, her username is Pretty Lady. She has turned off all her comments and I didn't know why. But now I know. So let me take you all back to like where this even started. So like Giselle said, there was this user, this Black woman. She made a TikTok where she was asking the Mexican community why they feel comfortable saying the N-word. And in her video, she was like, no, I love Mexican people. I know not all of you say it, but why do you all say it? Why do you think it's okay for you to say it? She was just like that. She just asked it like that and posted the video. In her comments, thousands of Mexicans and Mexican Americans started to leave hate comments. So many hate comments. So I was like, whoa, what is going on? So then I screen recorded that and I made a video to it. First of all, I was like celebrating. I'm like, finally, Black people are calling us out for saying the N-word. And then I was just like, y'all are just deflecting, because you're not answering the question. Because the main thing that they were saying is, why only Mexicans? It's the entire Latinx community. Why are you only coming after Mexicans? Also, why are you attacking our street vendors? And I was just like, she addressed the Mexican community because she has interacted with the Mexican community. So that's why. And it doesn't matter that other groups say it. She's specifically talking to us. So why are you trying to deflect? That was it. I'm like, y'all are just trying to gaslight the issue, deflect it, and create your own narrative to not answer her very valid question. And I posted that video. I knew I was going to receive backlash, but I was like, whatever. I always receive backlash. It's not going to be different than anything else.
But it was.
But it was. Oh my God. I got thousands of hate comments, not just on that TikTok video. People then went to my Instagram and started to DM me and calling me all sorts of names, calling me a Black Lives Matter lover, which, what do you think they mean by that? What did they call people who sympathize with Black people in the civil rights era? What did they call them? Do you remember? That's exactly what they were trying to call me, which I was just like, Black Lives Matter lover. Like, that makes no sense. You sound stupid. People in the comments, it's like, we don't claim you as part of the Latinx community. You're not part of the community. You've lost your Mexican card. How dare you turn on your own people? Why are you okay with Black people attacking street vendors? She was super rude. Why are you okay with people generalizing all of us? And like, just making stuff up and creating a completely different narrative than what happened, than what the original question was. So I had to make like 5 different videos of saying like, y'all, stop saying the N-word. That was what she was asking. She was telling you to stop saying the N-word. And there were so many people that were in my comments. It's like, no, but I grew up in the hood and we're okay to say it. Like, the Black people in the hood aren't sensitive like you all are. They're okay with all of us saying it. And I'm just like, but if you leave your community and you're in a different, like, let's say you go on vacation, go to a different city, and you say the N-word, and somebody who doesn't know you hears you saying the N-word, they're not going to think that you're being friendly. They're going to think that you're a racist. They're going to think that you're ignorant. And if a Black person who doesn't know you, whose neighborhood isn't okay with non-Black people saying the N-word, hears you, they're either going to be afraid that you're going to try to beat them up, they're going to get angry because you're being racist, and they might even try to beat you up for saying something racist. That's what I was saying. I'm like, this is a racial slur. That's what that user was trying to say. It's a racial slur. Please stop using it so casually. It's not your word to use. It's a simple concept. Like, don't say a racial slur and you're fine. And no, still, like, the downpour of hate that came onto me from my own community was honestly embarrassing. It was embarrassing to watch, because here I was on my platform saying, hey, we're trying to do better. Look at me. I'm trying to educate my community and we're really, really trying to do better. And then you go onto my comments and it's just hate, racist comments. People were calling me a mayate lover. They kept writing, go hang out with the mayates. For those of you who don't know, mayate is basically the Spanish word for the N-word. A mayate itself, like the word mayate itself, is not a bad word. It's the name of a black beetle, but that's what they're calling a person. Like, the beetles are round, fat, and stinky. So you can see why that is a derogatory term.
I don't think you brought up the fact that almost all the comments that had an issue with you and that kept continuing to comment under every single video that you posted, like, they were completely deflecting from the situation, you know? Like, they were literally... all they could say is, stop generalizing us. Literally, that's all you're doing. You're just generalizing us. Because that's all that they could say that was wrong with your video, right? None of them really interacted properly with the video. With what you were asking of them. You know, like, there was a question asked and all you could focus on was the fact that you felt you were generalized as a community. But then you go on, and most of them were generalizing the black community. So I'm just like,
hypocrite.
That don't even make no sense. I saw a lot of in your comments, because every time you'd show up on my For You page, I would read your comments, because I knew you were posting stuff that people didn't like. But yeah,
my number one fan.
Yeah, but I didn't see a lot because I was always really early.
Yeah, so those were the types of comments that I got the first week. Literally, the first week was just me saying, stop saying the N-word. This is why you should stop saying the N-word. Then, as we moved on to the second week, things got worse. Because now, people were bringing up the street vendors over and over and over. Anytime I would post a video, they'll be like, oh, so you just don't care about our street vendors. In your book, black people can do no wrong. You don't care that those people are attacking our street vendors. You just want to sit on here and talk bad about your own community and not acknowledge the fact that black people keep attacking street vendors. You're on their side. You're not on our side. I could literally be talking about voter registration and I would get those comments. And like, I posted a video about voter registration. I posted a video about something Trump did. I posted a video about Biden, and people kept going off in my comments. I was just like, oh my God. So, okay, I'm gonna talk about it. So then I started posting videos saying like, y'all are not actually defending street vendors. Y'all are using the street vendors to spew your anti-black and racist agenda towards the black community. Because all you do when you leave those types of comments is talk bad about the black community. All you do is attack the black community. You're not doing anything to help street vendors. You're just using them to talk crap about the black community. There has been no person that has put up a link to donate to street vendors. There's been no person that has shared a link to petitions to support street vendors. All the comments about street vendors were just to attack black people. In my videos, I was like, that's what you're doing. You don't genuinely care about them. You're just using that as an excuse. And then I would receive comments from other people that have not been part of the conversation so far, just being like, how dare you discredit the work that we've done for street vendors? There have been some of us that have made GoFundMes and that have made petitions for street vendors. And here you are saying that we haven't done anything. You don't know what you're talking about. And I was just like, obviously, I'm not talking to you. Obviously, I know that people have been helping street vendors. I have shared links to help street vendors. I was talking to the people that are just using this as an excuse to attack the black community. But now you're butting in, and now those people started piggybacking off of you. Now they're like, see, you just want to talk crap because there are people doing that. And I'm like, I never said that there was no people doing anything for street vendors. All that I was saying is that the majority of people that are leaving those types of hate comments haven't done a single thing to help the street vendors. The only thing that they've done is talk crap about black people on social media.
Yeah, I think they're using the whole street vendors to be able to, you know,
be anti-black.
Be anti-black publicly, because they know that,
and people are not gonna say anything because they're like, yeah, why are they attacking your street vendors?
Yeah. I don't know. I think the whole street vendors thing is such a sensitive topic because of course we care and of course we're upset. But when I see those videos,
it's never actually about the street vendors. It's about, all it does is appeals to people's emotions and it tries to get people angry at black people. That's it. It's not about like, hey, we need to do something to protect our street vendors. It's like, look at the black guys beating up the innocent street vendor. It's always like that. It's never like, hey.
The video of the black women who got into the fight with the waitress, the Latina waitress.
You brought up an excellent point.
I did.
The waitress video. Oh my God. It's just so frustrating. Yeah, what?
I just wanted to say that video, when I saw it on my For You page, I was like, what is this? Why is this on my For You page?
What is this mess?
What is this trash?
I didn't see it on my For You page.
No?
I got tagged like 18 different times. Everybody was like, Jackie, look at this video. What do you think? It was like obviously some of my followers,
But then it was also
but there was also
"You
like
see?"
some of my haters. Yeah, some people like, you see, this is exactly what we're talking about. And then there was like a few of my followers that like I know are my followers because they usually go on my lives. They're like, hey, I don't know about this. Like, can you please talk about this before people like throw this out of hand? Because I'm feeling some emotions watching this. Can you like look at it? And I was like, oh, this has to be like a really intense video. And then when I look at this video, let me tell you about this video. So it's a Facebook video, first of all. So it's a video that has been reposted. So the person who posted this onto TikTok, we don't even know if the person knew anything, if they knew the people, or they could have easily just screen recorded that video and put it on TikTok. Or it could have actually been the people that were involved. We don't know. So this video, it's being narrated by a friend of the 17-year-old girl, Latina. Sorry, the 17-year-old Latina girl. And in the video, she's describing and she's filming two black women in a car. And she just like keeps zooming in on them, and the black women are obviously like irritated and they're just like, what, like you making faces. And she's basically like, these two females just came in here and attacked this 17-year-old innocent Latina waitress at her job. Like, this girl was just trying to do her job, and these two females just beat her up for no reason. And now they're sitting in that car pretending to be all innocent just because the cops are here. Now that the cops are here, they want to play nice. And the cops are over there talking to the innocent 17-year-old like she doesn't deserve this. How long are we going to keep letting these people do this for? Like, what the hell? Like, we're always there for Black Lives Matter. Why do they do this stuff to us? Why are we okay with them doing things like that to our people? Like, that 17-year-old girl was just trying to earn an honest dollar and she got attacked. Why are we okay with that? It's like the first video and I was like, what? First of all, my first instinct, I'm like, this is a personal altercation that now you are bringing Black Lives Matter into it, which has nothing to do with what just happened. It's just that those women happen to be black, that you're talking about Black Lives Matter. Because what does Black Lives Matter have to do with a petty neighborhood fight? Second, I go onto the profile and I see that there are 5 parts to this video. So I look at all 5 parts. And on the last part, you see that this innocent 17-year-old girl is the one that gets arrested. The 2 black women are let go. And in the video, the person narrating, first of all, she says that if they would have been there, they would have all jumped the 2 black girls and that wouldn't even happen. And then she says that the Latino cop, because he happened to be Latino, she accuses him of being biased towards the black girls. And she says that the only reason why he didn't arrest the black girls is because he didn't want to look bad on social media. Then, if you keep watching the video, you see that the 17-year-old girl admitted that she started the fight. She swung first. And the 2 black women confirmed that, yeah, the fight happened because she swung at them. And so that's why she was arrested, because she started the altercation. An employee attacked customers. That's it. The waitress and the people who are recording claim that the women were trying to dine and dash. But there's no proof. We don't know if that's actually what happened. Either way, you're working a minimum wage job. Why are you trying to throw hands
over a meal that
probably costs more than what you're making in an hour? That makes no sense. That mindset makes no sense. Just let the people leave. Like, it's not going to come out of your pocket. What do you care? But again, they can't prove that the women were actually trying to dine and dash. If they actually were trying to dine and dash, something would have happened to them with the police too. But again, because they can't prove it, nothing happened to them. And the 17-year-old swung and got beat up. So now you wanted to make a video about it on Facebook and try to start a racial war. And that's not like the only video like that was posted this week. There was another woman. It was a Salvadorian girl. She posted on TikTok about a neighborhood fight that happened. Her aunt got in a fight with a black woman. They went to the park. They both had kids. The black woman's kid took her nephew's bike and he was bullying her nephew. So then her sister went up to the black woman and was just like talking smack to her. So then the black woman swung and they got in a fight. And the black woman won the fight. So then the girl goes on TikTok and it's again, how long are we gonna let black people keep doing that? How long are we gonna keep letting them treat us like that? How long are we gonna let them attack our street vendors? It's like the same narrative. We have been there for Black Lives Matter and this is how they repay us. We have showed them so much support and this is how they treat us. I've had enough. We need to do something about them. And again, that video blew up. So much support. so many racist comments. That's right. What are we going to do about them? What are we going to do all of that? And it's like, why do you keep using your individual altercations with Black people to generalize the entire Black community and to talk about a movement fighting for racial justice? Black Lives Matter and you getting into a petty neighborhood fight have nothing to do with each other. Nothing to do with each other. So that has become a trend where people are taking any altercation they have with any Black person ever and then making it about Black Lives Matter when it literally has nothing to do. And it's incredibly embarrassing because it just shows that y'all are waiting for any reason to let your anti-Blackness out and to then have a reason to say why you don't support Black Lives Matter. Because none of those altercations have anything to do with the Black Lives Matter movement. None of them.
I think it's specifically the Latinx community that's been doing a lot of that.
No, I'm talking about the Latinx community. Yes, definitely been doing that. Yeah. Which is why I've been getting so much hate. Like, there have been so many videos that have gone viral from Mexican Americans and other Latinos just saying crap about Black people attacking street vendors. They literally don't even say anything. They're just like play a stupid song in the background and they just like sit there just staring like this. And the caption is like, how come Black people keep attacking our street vendors? Like, that's it. They're literally using street vendors for clout. They're using what happened to gain some clout and to instigate racism towards the Black community.
But I think it's really sad, like, the latest video that you posted of the girl who apologized.
Oh.
The fact that, okay, when you are saying something extremely racist, right? When a Latinx person is saying something really racist on TikTok.
Yeah.
It goes viral.
Oh.
Millions of views, hundreds of thousands of likes, right? Mm-hmm. But then when they come to their senses and apologize and, you know, they don't get any clout off of that. Or they don't get
They lose followers.
Exactly. I think that's what's wrong with our community. That we want any excuse to feel validated in our
to have our anti-Blackness validated.
Exactly.
I made a bunch of videos talking about how people are not actually here for street vendors. They're here to talk crap about the Black community. And in those videos, I'm like, because you're not actually talking about who's actually attacking your street vendors. Our own community attacks street vendors at a much higher rate than any other race. Also white people. And the number one group of people that attacks our street vendors, and it's a threat towards street vendors, is actually cops. Cops attack our street vendors the most. Cops will literally go up to a street vendor and destroy their post in front of their face, and they will take their money. If you ask a street vendor who they're more afraid of, the street vendor is always going to say cops. But nobody has actually been talking about that. They've literally only been talking about the 10 Black people that attacked some street vendors. I made several videos talking about that. And anytime any of my followers saw somebody using street vendors for clout, they would tag me in the video and be like, hey, talk about it. And in one day, I got tagged in over 12 of those videos. And I was so over it. So I just took screenshots of like the first few videos, and then I made a video and I put all those screenshots. I'm like, I'm so over you all using this for clout and using this to seem woke when you actually have no idea what you're talking about and you don't actually care about our street vendors. One of those users saw the video and she made a response to me. And in that response, she was really angry. She was just like, first of all, don't call me racist because I'm not a racist. I will stand up for my people no matter what. And then she names all the races. She's like, I don't care what race you are. I'm going to talk about you. And I'm going to come after you because you don't come after my people. If you want respect from me, you have to give me respect. So then I looked at that video and I was like, you missed the point. So then again, I responded to her. Your video that you made was racist because you took the actions of individual Black people and generalized it onto the entire Black community. You did generalize people, so you need to own what you did. And because you did that and your video got over 100,000 likes, you enabled thousands of other people to do the same. So you hurt the Black community when you did that. And you don't care for street vendors because you've only talked about Black people. You haven't mentioned cholos, you haven't mentioned police, you haven't mentioned our own community, you haven't mentioned white people. You've solely focused on Black people. So you're not here for street vendors. And you need to recognize that you advocated for fighting hate with more hate, and you created an even bigger problem. In my video, I wasn't rude to her at all because I wanted to be, because I was heated, but I was like, you know what? That message is not gonna come across. So I was super polite. I explained it to her super calmly. And then she looked at the video and she uploaded another one and she apologized. She genuinely recognized, she was like, holy crap, like, you're right. Like, I just did something bad. She not only apologized to me, she apologized to the entire Black community. which I thought was amazing. So the first video where she like was attacking the Black community, she got like 500,000 views, over 100,000 likes. The second video when she was attacking me, she got like over 2,000 likes within the first 3 hours and a bunch of support. But then in the video where she is apologizing, she gets less than 400 likes. Suddenly, all of the support from the community gone. People no longer had her back. And why do you think that is? Because she's no longer attacking the Black community. Because now she's like, hey, we're actually wrong here. We can't keep doing this. People are like, oh, no. It is the Black community's fault.
I think it's been really hard on your own mental health, taking all of that in, because not only are these people being openly racist in your comments, but they're also attacking you personally. When you yourself has nothing to do with the subject that you're talking about.
Because they didn't have
anything to say.
Yeah, because they couldn't, you know, because if they, for the ones that were pretending like they weren't racist, they couldn't actually come up with an argument as to why they were so angry at me. So what's the next thing they're gonna attack? They're gonna attack me personally. They're gonna attack the way I look. They're gonna attack my hair. They're gonna attack my sexuality. Everything. I heard everything. I deleted so many comments. I blocked so many people. And the really wild thing to me is that when I would block people on TikTok, they would then go to my Instagram. And I would block them on Instagram, and then they would create spam accounts to keep talking crap to me on Instagram. Like 5 people have done that. Like where they created up to 3 different accounts just so they can keep talking crap to me.
I'll never understand that.
It's obsessive. I'm like, why are you so obsessed with me? I hit a nerve, obviously, that you just want to make me feel bad. And I'm like, I don't feel bad about myself because I know what I'm saying is right.
It's because the shoe fit.
The shoe fits, so they're so mad. It doesn't matter what you say to me. You're never going to convince me that it's okay for you to generalize and attack the entire Black community based on the actions of a few people. And the other really big thing, because people are just like, you're choosing them over us. You're choosing Black people over your own community. And it's like, are you dense? Do you not know that there are Black people in our community too? Do you not know that there are Black Mexicans? Do you not know that there are Afro-Latinos? What the hell are you talking about when you say you're choosing them over us? Because we have Black people too. That's why I'm so loud about this, because the Black people in our community face so much racism and so much hatred because our community likes to pretend like they don't even exist when they're right there. When they're watching and they're listening, and sometimes they're even trying to talk, but people don't let them. They're always silenced. So that's why me, that has a platform, uses that platform to advocate for the Black community, to advocate for our Black Latinos, because people don't listen. And whenever I do that, we get hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hate comments. And these are the ones that I screenshot. After deleting a bunch of them, Giselle was just like, have you screenshot any of the ones so you can like show them on your YouTube video? And I was like, oh, no, that's a good idea. So then I just screenshot. But there were some that were 1,000 times worse. Then like the few screenshots that I'm going to show you all are not even the worst comments that I got. These are just the ones that I remembered to screenshot. Let's go over some comments. And I do want to give a trigger warning here. Some of these are going to have racial slurs in them. I am going to put the picture of it, so if you don't want to see that, you might want to skip ahead. Starting with ones that are not so bad, and then we're going to go into the bad ones. Racism in our community. No one in my family and no one around me is racist. Where is your community located? Honey, educate yourself. Help your own race before helping another. Stop coming for us and instead teach us right from wrong. And I was just like, the audacity of this film. This is how I know. This is how I know you don't actually watch the whole video. Because I've never been coming at my community. I've been trying to educate my community on how not to be racist. We have a pick-me for the Black community. They should stop robbing and killing our vendors. And no, I'm not referring to Afro-Latinos because I know there's Afro-Latinos. It's the anti-Mexican for me. It's the pick-me, choose me for me.
Being a decent human being is being a pick-me.
Apparently. I'm pro brown pride before anything. Any Hispanics like you are suckers and deserve to be treated just as bad as mayates. It's the dog hair for me. It's that I want to be a Black girl so bad and I think I keep doing this so they might accept me for me. To all the Hispanics supporting this clout chasing BLM lover, look at her content. She is degrading Hispanics and praising Blacks. She forgot where she came from.
Sorry, I forgot my racism at home.
If you had the same passion for our raza, pinche malinche, if you attack vendors, right, the same thing, we don't use the word so vete a la verga, malinche.
Not the homophobia and the racism.
Not the homophobia and racism in one comment. Already take a black so you feel better and leave the Hispanics and Latinos alone. Ya cállate. Vete a la verga. The classic.
You got a lot of
I got hundreds of vete a la verga comments.
Because they were mad at you.
It was because of racism. Yeah. Mayate es lo que eres. She definitely calls ice on her parents.
Oh my god, when I saw that comment, it honestly made me so mad.
And then somebody just left the N-word over and over again. We get it. You're a Mayate lover. Girl, just stop already. You're just clout chasing. And of course, yep, always coming from the Mexicans. And those are just a few that I screenshot. So now you have a little taste of what I do. It's the best. I love it.
Can't wrap my head around the fact that that person left the comment saying that you need to uplift and educate our community. When that's exactly what you're trying to do. But that's not what they want to be educated on. Or do they want to be educated at all?
They want me to shut up. Here's the thing. Racists will never be happy with the way you call out their racism. Because all of the videos that I posted, they're always like, I agree with what you're saying, just not the way you said it. You should have said it differently. You should have said it nicer. And I was like, you should shut up. Because I have said the same thing in 8 different videos. 8 different ways. And none of those ways were good enough. I said it nicely. I said it calmly. I said it angrily. I said it so many times, and none of those ways were good enough. Don't ever listen to that. Racists are never going to be happy with the way they're called out because you're calling out the racism. You're making them uncomfortable. You're checking them for their problematic behavior. Nobody's ever going to be like, hey, oh my God, thank you so much for saying that to me right then and there. Everybody's going to be defensive. And so they're going to try to pick and cherry pick anything you say to try to make your argument less valuable because they are defensive. So that's why I was like, you know what? I don't care. I don't care if it's hurt your feelings. Because you know what else hurts feelings? Racism. Mm-hmm. Racism hurts people's feelings. Racism is really messed up. Like, people were then leaving me comments. It's like, you're just making us look bad. You just want to make the community look bad. Can you stop making these videos? Because everybody now thinks we're racist. And I was like,
y'all making yourself look bad.
You want me to stop making videos because people are leaving racist comments in my videos and that's making the community look bad? How about you tell those people to stop leaving racist comments? How about you tell our community to stop being racist? Like I am. Because me talking about it is not making us look bad. The racism itself is what is making us look bad.
The fact that you have to make the same video over and over again is making them look bad.
I'm not making anybody look bad. I'm pointing out bad behaviors that we need to fix. Because I'm tired of us pretending like they're not there. Because clearly, as these past 2 weeks have shown, they're very much there. And we very much need to talk about them.
As these past, 6 months have shown. Since
Honestly.
the BLM protests have started, that's when all this, like, verbalized racism has started. Like, people have just been extra racist since that started.
It's just been more intense through TikTok. And because of the street vendor incidents, people have just elevated their hatred.
Didn't a street vendor comment under one of your videos?
Oh, yeah, she did. Where I was talking about how the cops are. Mm-hmm. She commented under my video and she was like, yeah, I stopped street vending because cops. I was most afraid of cops. Mm-hmm. And I was just like, look at that. Would you look at that? It's not black people. It's cops. And then you get hundreds of black people commenting, what are street vendors? Mm-hmm. Because street vendors are just a thing on the West Coast. Mm-hmm. They're not a thing on the East Coast. And these are the same black people that are getting harassed for the street vendors. Like, literally, our community is going on random black people's content and being like, why are you tagging our street vendors? Mm-hmm. And when a black person is like, why am I getting these comments? What's going on? Their comments get swarmed with, well, if you didn't attack street vendors, we wouldn't be attacking you now. Mm-hmm. And it's like, this person has nothing to do with that. The entire community has nothing to do with that. Like, I don't know how I can get you all to understand that a few people doing criminal acts is not a reflection on the entire community. Because we also have criminals too. And do those criminals reflect all of us? No. Why can we understand that with us, but not with Black people? You can understand it, you just choose not to because you, again, want to keep being anti-Black. It comes around to the same thing. That's a little bit of everything that's been going on. I know this was a lot, but I just really needed to vent. This behavior really needs to stop. It's really disappointing, and it's bringing down our entire community because obviously not all of us are anti-Black. Obviously, because I have gotten so much support and I have received so many positive comments of people that say that they finally feel validated. I know I'm doing the right thing. It's just been so exhausting. It's been so draining just taking on all that hate, and to then have people say that I'm only doing this for clout, or to then have people say that I hate my community, which is why I talk about this. Like, if I hated my community, do you really think I would be willing to deal with all of this hatred? Like, you clearly have no idea what hating your community is. You should look at the Trump supporting Latinos. They're the ones that hate our community. I'm trying to educate. For a few minutes out of the day, I'm like, is this even worth it? Am I actually wrong? Like, after you get so many hate comments telling you how terrible of a human being you are, you kind of are just like, am I? Is what I'm saying right? Like, I just like have to put my phone down. I have to look up, and I look up at Samara. I'm like, Samara, and she's like, Jackie, yes, you're right. Like, you're questioning whether people being racist is right or wrong, and I'm like, I'm not. It's just that they keep telling me that I'm wrong. They keep telling me that I don't know what I'm talking about. They're making me doubt myself. But that's what toxic people do when they feel attacked. They try to put it on to the other person to try to make the person doubt themselves. But you just gotta remind yourself, like, no, I'm right. I'm right here. They're the ones that are wrong. And I'm doing a good thing. They can choose to remain ignorant, but I'm gonna choose to keep elevating my community. If you're not here for it, you can leave.
Peace out.
You don't have to be part of it.
Obviously, we have a lot of work to do within our communities, and if we aren't doing our part, then we aren't doing anything. You know, just like white silence is white violence, same thing goes for us.
People think that, oh, just because they don't say the N-word, that's good enough. That's not good enough anymore. It's not good enough for you to just not be racist anymore. You have to be anti-racist. You have to be willing to put the work. You have to be calling out your family members, your friends, your partners. You have to be doing that. Because if you're not doing that, you're not doing enough. Because things are so bad right now that if you choose to remain silent, you're being complicit to the racism. And that's what people need to understand. It's not good enough for you to just advocate for something online. You have to do it in real life. Online, anybody can say whatever they want. Anybody can be an activist online. But what are you doing in your personal lives? Because that's where you have the biggest impact. But also, make sure that you're safe. You know, like, you also need to take that into account. If you're in a situation where you literally cannot stand up for somebody without putting yourself in danger, then choose your own safety. But this message is for the people who just choose to be silent because they don't want to be uncomfortable and they don't want to have that conversation because they don't want to make others uncomfortable. If you are in a dangerous situation, please do what's best for you. But if you're just worried that people are not going to like you anymore, don't worry about that. Then those people shouldn't be a part of your life. So that's all I had to say for today. I know this is a heavy topic. If you're still here, thank you so much for watching. Now that me and Gisela are settled into our new homes, I think we're gonna have more time to actually sit down and record more YouTube videos for you all. Let me know if there's any topics that you want me to cover in the next video in the comments. I appreciate your support so much. Thank you so much for showing me love, for standing up for what's right in the comments, and thank you so much for having my back. I'm really grateful to you all. I'm really grateful for 100,000 followers. I'm really grateful for all of the new YouTube subscribers. I will do my part to post more content regularly. Again, thank you so much, and I will see you all in the next video. Bye.